4 years ago, we had the safest border in the history of our country. Put up that sign, please. Put up my all-time favorite graph. Put up my all-time favorite. Get that put up. That is the most beautiful graph I've ever seen. It's the most beautiful piece of paper I've ever seen. I take it home every night and I sleep with it and I kiss it. Oh, I kiss it, boo boo. Because without that sucker, I wouldn't be here right now. So if you think about it, Mr. Pastor, great job you did, Pastor. If you think about it, illegal immigration saved my life. I'm the only one. Usually it's the opposite. It's usually the opposite. Thank you very much. But you see that arrow on the bottom? That's when I left. That's the day I left office. You had the lowest number of people coming into our country in the history, recorded history of our country. And then look what happened, like a rocket ship. And they were rough, the ones that came in. We were very, very careful. We were remain in Mexico. We checked everybody out. People came in, but then they got rough because then they said, let's do open borders. Let's let the whole world. And as soon as they did that, jails were emptied, mental institutions were emptied. And I would have done the same thing if I were in charge of any of the many countries we're talking about. 3 of these thugs were in Border Patrol custody, but were released into the United States by Kamala. And my message, they were released and they killed people, a lot of people. They were released. But my message today is very simple. No person who has inflicted the violence and terror that Kamala Harris has inflicted on this community can ever be allowed to become the President of the United States. We're not going to let it happen. And your weak and ineffective governor, he's a totally ineffective guy, by the way. I hope you know that. His name is Jared Polis. I got to know him. I got to know him in the White House. He'd come in with other governors, some Democrat. I see them all. I worked with all of them. I know the good ones and the bad ones. He's not a good one, this one. But he'd come in, sir, it's so nice to meet you, sir. Oh, it's such an honor to be, oh, this is the Oval Office. Oh, sir, thank you, sir, thank you, sir. Then he comes back here and he says, I didn't like the guy. Can you believe it? And I gave you, not him, I didn't give anything. I gave you everything that they wanted. I gave you because I love this state. This state has to flip Republican. It has to. It has to. Let's do it. That's why I'm here. Let's do it. I'm not here for my health. That's why I'm here. Think of where I could be, though. I could take our beautiful First Lady. I could be on the beautiful beaches all over the world. I could be in Monte Carlo. I could be all over the world, the best properties in the world. I have the best properties. And where am I? I'm right now in Aurora. And that's where I want to be, because we're going to solve this problem. We're going to solve this problem, right? If you said, where would you rather be, on the most beautiful beaches in the world or with you, trying to figure out what the hell happened to Aurora, because you have a very different place than you had just a few months ago, right? We're going to take care of it. But Polis, he's a coward, he's a fraud, he's pathetically trying to deny. He's pathetic. He doesn't see. You know, they don't want to see. You know what? They don't want to. They want to stay with Washington because otherwise they'll get indicted. They'll find they did something wrong. They'll get indicted if they don't. So he's afraid. They're all afraid. They're all cowards. So this guy doesn't see what you see. He doesn't see people bursting into buildings with AK-47s, military-style weapons, sometimes better than our own military. You have to ask, They're illegal migrants. They come from poor areas. Where the hell do they get these guns, the best guns? Where do they get them? Where do they get them? Who gives them better guns than our military has? Who is giving them the guns? But she's committed crimes against your state. She has committed crimes by allowing these criminals in, and many of these people are murderers. And now America is known all throughout the world as occupied America. They call it occupied. We're being occupied by a criminal force. And we're an occupied state that refuses to let our great law enforcement professionals do the job that they so dearly want to do. You know, they want to do the job so badly, but they're threatened constantly. You're going to lose your pension. They don't want to do it. What is this ideology? It's so sick. But to everyone here in Colorado and all across our nation, I make this pledge and vow to you. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. It will be Liberation Day. Thank you. I will rescue Aurora and every town that has been invaded and conquered. These towns have been conquered. Explain that to your governor. He doesn't have a clue. They've been conquered. And we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them out of our country, and we will be very, very effective in doing it. It's going to happen very, very fast. We're going to get them the hell out of our country. And if you're a weak and ineffective governor, Jared Polis was doing his job, he would be leading the fight to get these gangs and thugs the hell out of Colorado now. And remember, it was Polis. So nice to me in the White House. Sir, yes, sir, called me sir. Called me sir, he would have done whatever the hell I wanted. Yes, sir. Oh, sir, it's such an honor. And yet it was Polis who led the move to take me off the ballot because I was leading in the polls against all of the Democrats. And then the Supreme Court, very brave and very brilliant, actually, voted 9-0 that I should be on the ballot. 9-0. Everybody unanimous that I should be. I was leading everybody on the ballot. Every Democrat, I was leading everybody. He said, we have to get him off the ballot because that was part of their scheme. You know, not only the weaponization, but this was actually part of the weaponization. Their first move was to try and get me off the ballot. They didn't want to run against me. They liked other people much better. Much better. You know, we ran and won in 2016. We did much better by millions of votes in 2020, but we won't discuss that. And I will tell you, you see it by the crowd. You see it outside. Let's take a look outside. We are today, there's more enthusiasm for this movement, MAGA, the greatest movement. It's called Make America Great Again. There's more enthusiasm today than ever before. But there was great indignation in Colorado by what this ineffective person did. They really were angry at him, and they were angry. And especially, you know who was the most indignant? The Democrats, believe it or not. They thought it was a terrible thing to do because that is really a threat to democracy, not the fake threat that they use all the time. So I hope that Colorado, I love this place. I'm here a lot, as you know, I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends here. And they tell me the whole thing is turning, but you can't live like this. You can't live with these people. These are stone cold killers. You could be walking down the street with your husband. You'll both be dead. They won't even remember they did it the following morning. You can't live like this. So I hope that Colorado will show a tremendous protest vote for what they did to try and keep me off the ballot, and more importantly, for what they have done to the fabric of your culture.